A brand new artist residency just launched, and it doesn't look like anything that's come before it. There's no single location that you need to head out to, no central studio, no city that you have to find another roommate for. Instead, TED and POSCA are inviting artists from around the world to work right where they already are, inside their own communities, on a shared creative mission rooted in repair, hope, and beauty. Applications are open right now, and the deadline is July 31st. So let's get into everything you need to know. Hey, it's Zia. Welcome back. If you're new here, this channel is your go to for arts and nonprofit opportunities, fellowships, residencies, and career resources. Though I really haven't gotten to the career resources yet. I'm planning on that video, but it takes me a while to just like gather all my scripts and resources sometimes. And this is, I think, is like the first video I'm getting to y'all in time that you can actually apply for since the deadline is again July 31st. Today, we're talking about a residency that I'm so excited to share. It's called the TED and POSCA Global Artist Residency. And yes, it's that TED, your TED Talks, the Global Ideas platform. And POSCA is the beloved art marker brand by Unibrands Corporation. Together, they've partnered with Fine Arts, an external curatorial organization, to launch a distributed community based residency for artists across the globe. So, what is this residency exactly? This residency is built around a really powerful premise. Art can help repair what's broken, and repair can happen anywhere. So rather than pulling artists out of their communities and placing them somewhere new, the residency wants to keep artists exactly where they are. You work in your own city, your neighborhood, your own context, but you're connected to a cohort of artists around the world through a shared creative framework. Projects unfold in public space. Community participation isn't optional, it's actually baked into the model of the program. And the process matters just as much as the final outcome. Think of it less like a traditional residency and more like a global distributed public art initiative, where each artist is planting something meaningful in their corner of the world. The goal for this residency is to have a unifying theme, 2026, that is visible mending. The concept is inspired by kintsugi. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. I only did a little bit of Duolingo Japanese. I'm mainly focusing on French still. But kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken ceramics with gold. The idea being that the cracks aren't something to hide, they become part of the beauty. For this residency, Visible Mending invites artists to look at repair as both a creative act and a civic one, to ask what in our communities has been broken: relationships, ecosystems, trust, social fabric, and how do we make the process of mending it visible? The, t- the theme is intentionally broad. You're not handed a prescription. You bring your own lens, your own community, your own story to the question. And across communities around the world, people are already doing this work. So you're not pulling it out of thin air. The residency wants to find artists who can make this visible in public. As I always say, don't count yourself out in applying to this residency. This is open to a wide range of practices. I mean, they're looking for visual artists, muralists, interdisciplinary artists, designers, community based practitioners, collectives, architects, and spatial practitioners across disciplines. Your project can take a lot of forms: public installations, participatory interventions, collaborative processes, performances, temporary activations, workshops, story based works, or hybrid approaches. What they're particularly drawn to are proposals that are rooted in a specific local context. One thing I love about this: you don't need a fully resolved project to apply. Selected artists will develop their proposals collaboratively with the curatorial team after being chosen. So, this is less about having every detail figured out and more about having a compelling vision. I mentioned this earlier, but each of the four selected artists receives $15,000. That breaks down to cover three things: your artist fee, production costs, and community activation and documentation of the work. And then I should say that $15,000 is the US dollar. In your application, you'll need to include a simple budget proposal showing how you plan to allocate across these three areas. They recommend distributing it relatively evenly, but they understand that every project is different. Beyond the honorarium, selected artists receive creative direction and storytelling support from all three teams involved with this work. So TED, POSCA, and Fine Acts. This is visibility through TED's global platform and POSCA's and Fine Arts, POSCA materials to support your project, periodic curatorial check-ins and feedback sessions throughout the year, the chance to be a part of a global cohort, and payments come in two equal installments, one at the beginning and one near the end of the residency term. Most importantly, this is a multi-year initiative. The cohort will grow year by year through 2029. So even if your timing isn't right for 2026, this isn't going away and you need to shoot your shot next year. Let's break down the application because as I scroll through the website, these are some things that just popped out for me. The application is organized into 7 sections. Section 1 through 3 are your basics, like your personal information, your artistic background, and your project proposal. Section 4 is about community participation. This is important. They want to understand how you imagine people participating in your project. Community engagement here is not a nice to have. It's structurally central to the residency program. Section 5 is documentation and storytelling. So they want to know how you'd capture the process, the public engagement, and the final work. Section 6 is optional. It's about POSCA materials. If you have ideas for how you might incorporate these tools into your project, you can share them here, but it isn't required. And Section 7 is meant for your work samples. You can share up to 3 links to relevant past work with short descriptions for each. Before you submit, though, please be sure to read the program terms on Fine Act's website. There's a link in the description, and by submitting, you confirm you've read and agreed to them. So, some more eligibility notes are you must be 18 or older at the time of your application. Applications from individuals and countries subject to comprehensive U.S. sanctions are not eligible, unfortunately. You cannot be a current government official, employee, or agent of a government entity or political party, and this is not a contest or lottery. Selection is made by a curatorial panel based on artistic merit, proposal quality, and fit with the program. There's no purchase required, and there really is no element of chance. The timeline is also on the website. July 31st is when the application will close. September through October 2026, artists selected and announced. Then January 1st through June 30th, 2027, residency projects developed, implemented, and documented. So it's a pretty tight timeline in terms of what they are imagining this residency to look like. Okay, enough of me giving you the rundown. I hope that you've already put this in your opportunity tracker. Matter of fact, maybe you've already closed this video and you have this link open and ready to fill out your application. I'm going to stop you there, put it in a Google Doc so that you can work through a lot of these prompts and edit as you need, because this form it does not appear that you can save. But the application deadline is July 31st, 2026. I want you to head to Fine Act's website, find axe.co to apply. I'll link everything directly in the description. That's where you can find most of the resources I've posted. And I want to say this: the framework they're working within, repair, resilience, hope, civic imagination, is something a lot of us in the arts already believe in and are working on. If your practice lives in public space, in community, and the idea that art can do something real in the world, this residency was built with you in mind. If this video was helpful, please give me a like, share it, and subscribe because we cover opportunities like this regularly. Good luck if you're applying. I'm rooting for you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.